Oh, absolutely.
All right, guys. We got, is Rowdy on the air?
I'm here, bud.
Yeah.
Look out. Call SWAT.
WWE Hall of Famer Rowdy Roddy Piper, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule for calling in. You're on the air with Joe, Steve, Nate, and of course Mike. Thank you so much for calling in. I know you have an appearance this Sunday in New York. Would you like to talk about that?
No, this weekend in Marlborough, Massachusetts.
This weekend in Marlborough, Mass.
Megafest.
Yeah. Well, get this. Today's my birthday.
Happy
birthday!
Wow.
Thank you. You know, I had to check for the statute of limitations on the on the outstanding warrants, but I'm good for Boston. In Boston, I used to fight in that arena in Boston. I loved it. I had more fights on the way to the ring, though, than I had in the ring. I love you. I love everything about you guys. You're great.
And Rowdy, let me say, as a Boston native and as a New England native, we certainly love you, and we hold you in such high regard for everything you've done for the business and the sport of professional wrestling. Real quick, what was it like to work the first ever WrestleMania?
The first ever WrestleMania in Madison Square Garden. You know, it's going to be hard to beat that one. You know, they always try to... this is the best Mania. This is the best WrestleMania. Well, the one, I'll give you the short of it. The very first one, I come in the arena and the Garden, and you know, there's this kind of windy thing. You come up, and I get to the curtain, and the first thing I see to the left is Liberace dancing with the Rockettes doing the can-can. And, hi, Roddy. Hi. And then someone's pulling me on my jacket on the left side on the right side. And there's a meet and greet room right there. And there's a young guy and some kind of guy, his hair is disheveled, and he's trying to talk to me. And I just come to fight. And he's trying to talk to me, and then the guy with him is taking pictures of my feet. And finally, I love you and everything, but I got to go. His name was Andy Warhol. And I turn around. There's no exaggeration here. I turn around, and there's little Richard. And he hands me a Bible. And he says, Adam's supposed to be with Eve, not Steve. All right, everybody, out of the pool. Where's the wrestlers? That's exactly what I saw at WrestleMania 1. And there was no handbook. Nobody knew what was going to happen. And there was a lot of animosity back then with Hogan and myself, and maybe myself. And T's a big fan of mine. You know, Mr. T.
I know he loves his mother.
Epic Hall of Fame speech right there.
The fallopian tubes in my mother that expanded when I've never seen anybody get the hook at the Hall of Fame.
I know, when they sent out Kane to get him, oh my God, that was ridiculous.
I was there live, and he stole the show with that speech.
At one point, I thought, this guy's either a comic genius or he's off his rocker. I still don't know.
I think both.
Maybe you hit him with too many shots at WrestleMania 2, Rowdy.
I tell you, boy, I thought what started it with, he hates me, or did. And first WrestleMania press conference was in Rockefeller Center at the top. I'm late, because I was out with Morocco. And I come running up and the door's closed. Shoot. I open the door, and right to my right-hand side, the first guy is Mr. T. And there's all the cameras going off. It's dark and boom. And Mr. T, Hogan beside him, then McMahon in the little podium, then Mr. Wonderful, and then just my chair and name tag because I was late. And as I walk in the door, Mr. T flexes his right bicep. He says, feel that. And I looked at him, so I squeezed his head. Pretty soft. Holy cow.
Oh, man.
Holy cow. I didn't know you weren't supposed to touch Mr. T. I assumed that the fella was going to wrestle,
Yeah.
So that kind of got us off on a bad. Then he wanted to come in and play wrestler.
Yes.
We'll throw your heads together. No, you won't. You'll be lucky if you live. And that's kind of how we went into WrestleMania. The very first one. I wouldn't take a dive for Hogan or T. There's Muhammad Ali, the referee. There was one time, if you watch in the ring, I had to split the post, which means I'm outside the ring and I'm by the post. And I look to my right, and there's Hogan in his prime. I mean, he's a big boy. And I look to my left, and there's Muhammad Ali. You know, I got a life-altering decision to make here in about half a second. I took Hogan. Hey, it was wild, and that's what made it so good, because nobody really knew what was going to happen.
Now, Rowdy, let me ask you a question. I know you just had Ronda Rousey on your podcast this past Monday. How does it feel to have somebody like Ronda Rousey go after use her nickname, Rowdy, Ronda Rousey?
Yeah. You know, the gal called me and asked permission. My sensei and her sensei is the same sadistic man, Judo Gina Bell. They're the toughest man in the world. Anybody will know him out there. He's the godfather of MMA, trained Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris. And he's 80 years old. I was just with him 2 days ago, and he's given about 22 black belts away. Still, cantankerous old guy. But I called Ronda onto the podcast. This is after she called me and asked me if she could use the name. And she's so beautiful. She walked in by herself, which is a great sign to me. I got a huge amount of respect. She didn't need an entourage. And I had them do this. From Uncle Gene's Children, Gina Bell. I got all these Ronda Rousey, like around your neck patches. I had them all over the studio. I had everybody in the studio wearing them. And I had everything rolling, the cameras and the stuff. So she didn't have to go through the, we're going to start now. Sometimes you leave the magic on the floor. She just sat down and we started talking. And boy, what an honor. That gal, not only is she put together from an athletic point of view, she's solid. She loves her mommy. Did you know her mommy was a world judo champion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I'm the last to know everything. When I get fired, when McMahon fires me, I'm always the last to know.
That's all right, Rowdy. You can listen to the Strike Zone. We'll get you plugged up.
I appreciate it. But Barbara, she really, I've got fainting goats. Don't ask me why. All right? Remind me of Hogan. No. And Ronda, her personality came out. And she's solid. She's my gal. I hope you enjoy it if you get a chance to listen to the podcast, because the whole side of her that she's never came out. She got comfortable and was treated with respect. So I'm a huge fan of hers. What she said, though, the next gal, I said, so who are you fighting next? And she says, this gal in Brazil. And she says, you know what? It's not going to be short. I says, what are you talking about? And she goes she got her girlfriends there that fight, or her gals that fight with her, and they call themselves the Four Horsemen. Yep. And so, first of all, she says to me, the gal's name is Bitch. And we thought, I've got a lot of material there, Rhonda, I can help you with. And so I guess this gal, BTECH, in Brazil, she's going to fight him, but she fought one of her Rhonda's friends. She put up 4 fingers, and when she beat her, put one finger down like one horseman down. Next one, another one of her friends put the finger down, only 2 horsemen left. So Ronda told me, and there was a fight Ali had with Floyd Patterson, and Floyd wouldn't call him Ali, he called him Cassius Clay. And she said the same thing. She said, no, I'm going to make her suffer. I remember Ali saying, what's my name? What's my name? And he would back up on Floyd Patterson. So the referee, he was torturing him. Well, that's what she said. That was just after the nice comment with the fainting goats. And then I want to kill the bitch. Yeah, okay, Rhonda. And maybe we should take a break now. We'll be right back. Great gal.
So, Rowdy, huge fan. I've followed your career, not just your wrestling career, your acting career. I watched Body Slam. I own Body Slam on DVD. I've watched They Live. But your most recent, actually, you were on a show called It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You played a character called the Maniac. How was it working with Charlie and the guys? And just explain, like, how'd you like it over there?
I'll tell you the truth. I don't usually do this. The first one I did, Charlie Day, is like, he's scared. But he giggles, and I can't get through a scene because if I look at him, he's a fainting goat in his former life. But he's beautiful. He's got he's just got a heart of gold, and all of them, Rob, and they're beautiful. They're just such fans and want to give so much. And so the first one I did, here we go. I think I started on Wednesday, so I shot Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I need to come back Monday. Well, Rod went out. It was a while back. And Rod went out on the town and ended up in the Hollywood jail. And I want to thank TMZ for letting everybody know where I was. That way, I could be picked up. And, thank you so much. Another Dewey. That's 4. And so now it's Monday, right? And next time you watch it, so it's Monday, and so I'm coming there. They let me improv a lot, too, which is good because they had no mind left. Folding metal chairs, And so I'm going back and forth, and this is what these guys did. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, a police car whips up, 2 cops come, handcuff me, and put me in the back seat. That wasn't in the script.
What? Really?
Because and it's because I got busted over the weekend, and they were just, they're great.
I love the line, Rowdy, where you stick your head out of the window and you're like, "Maniac loves you."
The Maniac loves you. That's one of my favorites.
And then I love, we love you. And then I turn the corner and they go, we don't love him, do we? No, we don't love him. He's like your buddy, your Boston buddy, man. Great guy.
Great show, and Rowdy, you really stole the show. I really enjoyed. I thought your appearance that season was the best episode. I think it was 5 seasons ago now.
Yeah, it's still one of the better episodes. I feel, man. And like I said, I loved your movies. I love Body Slam. I love They Live. That was, your favorite line from there. I'm there to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and guess what? I'm all out of bubble gum. That's my favorite.
There it is.
I actually have a bubblegum soda pop on the market.
Really?
Bubblegum now.
Where can we find this?
Like in Bevmo and in Rockets' active stores. I think there's maybe like.
Is there anything online where you could get this?
Oh yeah, you go to my website. You can find it easy. It's called Rowdy Roddy Piper's All Over Bubblegum.
All right, we got to check that out.
By Rockets' They got 89 stores in Bevmo. I don't know if they got Bevmo on this side of the Big Island, but easy to find. And the bubblegum just come out. Heidi Fleiss has nothing on me.
Oh, man.
And then they just want me to write another book. I don't know if I want to do that one.
Well, Rowdy, I know you had a lot of success with your first book, and I know you're experiencing a lot of success with your current podcast, Piper's Pit, on podcast1.com. Do you want to talk about that? I know you were citing the Ronda interview.
I did WrestleMania a little bit. It's still, McMahon's still mad at me for doing They Live. He was really angry. He didn't want me to go. That's what started a little rift between him and I. 31 years later, Vince, it's WrestleMania 31. Let it go. I was with Bruno. I think I did it in this town. Bruno Sammartino, and I had to do a Piper's Pit. And so I got in the ring, and, Bruno's Bruno.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, Bruno, on the way here, I got a flat tire. I had to make it, all the way here, my tire went whop, whop, whop. Oh, baby. The comb over stood straight up. The eyes focused. It was a long night. So this is, I'm doing business, whatever. Okay, bring it on. So 27 years later, my son Colt, who's an undefeated MMA fighter, I want him. Bruno Sammartino, he's a man's man. He's wonderful. And so I bring my son and I say, Colt, this is Mr. San Martino. And Bruno looks at him and says, your dad told me a walk. First thing out of my, it was 27 years ago, Bruno. And then he started laughing. And Gabe pulled a big hug. You're the hell of a man, Anyway, just, ADD there.
Oh, it's okay.
Try to keep me on some topic.
No, we certainly, and I've listened to your summer podcast, and I listened to the one with Jake Roberts, both parts, and that's what I really love about your podcast, Rowdy. It's very conversational, it's very relaxed, and you get these guys like a Jake Roberts who were, they were in the trenches with you in the heyday, and to hear these stories is just so incredible.
Yeah, it was, it really was kind of like a gunslinger time. And we lost a lot of guys.
Yeah.
The politics were really severe. It was just, you know what? There were no rules. And it was an industry that was being, the wrestling industry was 2 or 3 different people were trying to take it over at the same time. And, this is what a lot of people don't understand. Is like, no, I'm not taking the time. I got 4 kids at home. I got ice cream bars. I got towels, whatever. Sorry, bud, we're going to have to figure something out here. And it's not with me. And I get ridiculed a lot for that. But that's okay because all my kids are doing great. I didn't work, 330 times a year to come to Madison Square Garden to lay down. I don't lay down. I don't do that. I'm like Boston. I throw the pee in the water.
Hey, Rowdy, I got to ask you about the wife swap shirt with the Ric Flair. Whose idea was that?
Not mine.
Nope.
Not mine. And I'll tell you, after it was aired, Flair was sorry. My wife broke him down in 4 days.
Oh, God.
She had him in a red hoodie with a paper mustache around him and took him shopping. Because I've never been so humiliated. And then she made him stay home with his kids, not drink, and sit and play on the floor. That's what we do at home.
Yeah.
And the one thing I knew, though, whatever I want to say about Flair, I love him with all my heart. Is we've been there, and I knew that Kitty was safe. Because there's the first the connotation of the name. It's like really. Yeah. How much? And I'm not doing, but Flair, who? Flair? Oh, well, yeah. And the lady that he sent my way, she was as safe as my own kids. But that cost me about $20,000 having her there for 3 days. And I don't know. I think my wife scarred Flair for life. I've been with her 32 years, all right? I'm old and 45 with her.
Yeah.
So, that's how much tougher than Flair I am.
Also, Roddy, I want to share a story with you personally. When I was a little kid, when you were wrestling Bad News Brown at WrestleMania, I got in trouble because I wanted to be the hot Scot. So I took my mom's makeup and I threw it all over my face. And it was one of the moments my mom looked at me. She looked at me in all sorrows. It was the funniest thing. I was in one of her little plaid dresses and I had full face.
You were trying to be Goldust?
I was trying to be the hot Scot. It was the funniest thing of my life.
Oh, so like did she take a good stride, or did you get your butt beat?
Oh, I got the belt, Roddy. I got the belt.
Let me tell you that. So that I'll just tell you the last part of it. So when I did that, McMahon went out, and he had DuPont, and had some kind of paint made up that when I sweat wouldn't come off. Oh. So boom, okay, I'm ready to go. And I painted myself with some help, half black, everything. I was hoping something would grow. And all the way down, boom, legs, everything. All right, boom. And I went out with a glove, and I was like throwing my hand in the air with a glove, and everybody was just staring at me kind of like you're just listening. And I was trying to dance like Michael Jackson. That wasn't working either. No. And I get in there with Bad News Brown. I come back, and it's time to get this black off, and the solution was clear. And so she dabs the solution on my right cheek. She's, and then about 5 minutes later, my right cheek's bleeding. Hang on. Andre the Giant and Arnie Skolin, they threw out the solution and put water in it. Now, I'm in Toronto, Canada. I'm half black. I can't get it off. Tomorrow, I got to go to Portland, Oregon through Chicago. So I had a executive decision to be made at night. And so I went out and just got drunk out of my mind. I'm half black every place I went. When I wake, don't judge me now, okay? I wake up in the morning in the Sky Dome, and I got all my clothes on. This is kind of good, maybe. And I'm on my bed, and I look over, and I don't know, my hotel room door is just gone. Never did find that. And in the middle of the floor, don't judge me, it was a cowboy hat. Oh, okay. And I had a 4-foot Mickey Mouse I was bringing to my daughter, and I had my Halliburton. And, you know, when you wake up, you forget until I looked in the mirror, put the cowboy hat on because it could have been a friend, and I went from Toronto, Canada, through Chicago, half black with a 4-foot Mickey Mouse under my left arm and a Halliburton in my right. Boys, they get the hell out of your way.
Oh, I bet.
I kid you not. When you and when I got to Chicago, there was a flight attendant that was having a little trouble with me and wanted me to check Mickey, so I bought Mickey a first-class seat, and we drank all the way back to Portland, Oregon. It took me 30 days in the sauna to get that stuff off.
Oh, man.
Yeah. You don't often see a big fella half black walking to the Chicago airport, you know?
No,
you don't.
You see a lot in the Chicago
Yeah,
airport,
yeah.
but not that.
Things maybe you want to put on there not to do because Roddy's tried.
All right, yeah, I'll file that under that list.
Yeah, and I apologize to Mom.
Oh, that's all right.
She forgives you. I know her personally.
Yeah,
She forgives
she's a
you,
very
Roddy.
forgiving woman.
You know it personally. I love it.
The impact you had on a generation of kids, my friend. Well, sir, it's been
you're so wonderful.
it's been
You
our
guys are so wonderful.
it's been our absolute pleasure and honor to have you on. I personally wish we could do this all night. Unfortunately, we have to wrap this up soon.
Understand.
I know you're going to be in Massachusetts this weekend.
Give us a plug.
Yeah.
Let us know where you're going to be, about your shows, where people can find you everywhere.
Love you. Okay, I got a booklet, so I know. I'm in the big Megafest. Okay, I'm going to be
Marlborough,
here
Massachusetts.
Friday.
I'll help you out.
Yes, thank you very much. Marlborough, Massachusetts, and I hear Red Hart and Jericho might be here. I'm going to cross-body block both of them.
Make sure to call the Strike Zone. We want to call the auction.
And I never ever cut off a line. I don't care how long we stay. I got to stay. Never cut off a line, and I love you. And I know you got to go, so I want to tell you something. Because a lot of the guys in my business, they don't understand this. Without you, we're nothing. When you are kind enough to allow me to come on the air for this kind of time and give me a forum so I can go and make money for my children and make money for whoever else, I can't do that without you. And you've been important my entire career. So it's my honor to come on and say hello to you. So thanks for having me. I'm going to leave you with an Irish poem.
Okay.
You ready?
Ready.
For God may bless us and love us. He says, when a man comes at you, may God bless him, And may God bless his heart. But if he doesn't love you, may God bless him with a limp so you can knock him out before you drink.
Oh, man.
I love you.
Rowdy, I personally love you from the bottom of my heart. You and Randy Savage were my two favorites from the 80s. And
Ooh.
you have been a role model to me. I know you've gotten into stand-up comedy in the podcast world, and just the way you have been able to use your voice and being from a tough background. I've watched your DVD, and you're really a role model to me personally. I'm Joe, and I just want to say thank you for everything. Thank you for the memories, and thank you for continuing to inspiring little marks like us to do these shows, and we really appreciate it, sir.
I love you too. Hug Mom. If you get a chance, come on down, have a Marlboro.
I will. I actually work in Marlborough, so I actually may stop by.
Thank you, Rowdy.
Very cool.
Yeah,
You betcha.
God
Take care,
bless,
guys.
sir.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Rowdy. Appreciate it.
WWE Hall of Famer Rowdy Roddy Piper. Sorkman, thank you for the assist.